Hello students, this is Aruj Muzaffar from the Department of English, University of Southern Punjab. In our previous lecture, we discussed that how translation studies are a different form of learning. Our today's lecture deals with our most conventional form of translation and that we have been doing since our childhood. The first question that we typically start from our English book is the mode of translation in which we start our translation from Urdu to English language. Translation is an important skill for students, professionals, and anyone who wants to communicate effectively in English language. Many learners believe that translation simply means replacing Urdu words with English words. However, in reality, translation is much deeper than that. It requires understanding the meaning of a sentence, its context, the grammar, structure, and the intention of the speaker or writer. When we translate from Urdu to English, the first step is to clearly understand the Urdu sentences. If the meaning is not clear in mind, it will be impossible to translate it correctly. For example, if someone reads the Urdu sentence, वो बहुत तेज दौड़ता है, translator must understand that the sentence is describing someone's ability and habit. The correct translation is that he runs fast. The learner translates it by words. If they translate it in some way which does not convey the complete sense, it is not going to create the correct impact. Urdu and English follow different grammatical patterns. Urdu sentences usually follow the subject object verb pattern, while English sentences normally follow the subject verb object pattern. Because of this difference, learners often make mistake when translating. For instance, a sentence मैं किताब पढ़ रहा हूँ. In English, it will be translated like I am reading a book. Therefore, a translator must recognize the sentences according to English grammar rules rather than simply translating word to word. Vocabulary plays a significant role in translation. A translator must have a good range of English vocabulary to express the same idea naturally. Sometimes a single Urdu word can have multiple meanings depending on the context. For example, bath can be talk, matter, point. And if someone says that ये एक अच्छी बात है, it's going to be translated like this is a good thing, this is a good talk. So context plays a very important role and practice is another key factor in developing translation skills. Translation is like a muscle that becomes stronger with continuous exercises. Students should practice translating short sentences daily. For example, they can take simply Urdu sentences from newspapers, books, or daily conversations or attempt to translate them into English. After translation, they should compare their English translation with correct English usage to have their improvements. Another helpful method is thinking in English rather than translating every thought from Urdu. When learners think directly in English, their translation becomes more natural and fluent. For example, मुझे भूख लग रही है. Instead of translating word by word, they should already know the natural English expression I am feeling hungry or I am hungry. Reading English books, articles, and newspapers also improves translation ability. When learners read regularly, they become familiar with common sentence patterns and expressions. As a result, when they translate Urdu sentences, they can easily recall similar English structures they have seen before. Listening and speaking also plays an important role here when learners listen to lectures or have their conversations in English. This exposure helps them understand how to convey the same idea when translating from Urdu. Students should also pay attention to verb tenses while translating. Urdu often expresses time in a flexible way, but English requires precise tense usage. For example, मैं कल लाहौर गया था. The correct translation would be I went to Lahore yesterday. If the translator says I have gone to Lahore yesterday, the sentence becomes grammatically incorrect because the present perfect tense does not normally go with the specific past time expressions. Another common difficulty occurs when translating negative sentences or questions. For example, क्या तुमने काम मुकम्मल कर लिया है should be translated as have you completed the work rather than did you completed the work. Understanding auxiliary verbs like do, does, did, have, or has is very important for accurate translation. In addition to grammar and vocabulary, a good translator must also maintain clarity and simplicity. The purpose of translation is to convey the meaning clearly to the reader or listener. Therefore, it is better to use simple and natural English sentences instead of complicated structures. Students should also avoid translating idioms literally. Urdu idioms often have meanings that cannot be understood from the individual words. For example, asman sar par utha lena, the sky on one's head, instead of it means creating a lot of noise or disturbance. The translator must find an equivalent English expression such as to make a huge fuss. Finally, patience and consistency are essential for mastering translation. No one becomes an expert translator overnight. It requires regular practice, continuous learning, and exposure to both languages. Students should not be discouraged by mistakes because mistakes are a natural part of learning processes. If learners follow these strategies, understand the sentences, respect grammar structures, improve vocabulary, practice it regularly, and pay attention to the context, they will gradually develop strong Urdu to English translation skills. And obviously, with the passage of time, it is communicated to the students that translation is though a very tricky thing, but it is not something which is very difficult or impossible to do. It's tricky, and complexity lies in its contextual beauty, because every language is beautiful in its own way. We are translating Urdu to English. Urdu has its own novel structure, English has its own sentence patterns. So we should not expect the same thing into the both languages. Rather, we should focus on the idea that into the both languages, the sentence structure should be made into a way that the sense and context of the both sentences is carrying the same right and magical effect. For example, if we go towards word to word translation, it may be correct, but it may lose its originality and the structure of the actual sentences. So, because of these differences, learners often make mistakes when translating. And this is the mistake that can be overcome with the passage of time by using the correct form of translation. Like, a translator must recognize the sentences according to English grammar rules rather than simply translating it word by word. For this purpose, vocabulary should be used into a very significant and technical way. Translator should be a person of a very good range of reading. His expression of both the languages should be very good, and his exposure to both the languages should be very wide and broad, and he should be straightforward into his talk while maintaining the dignity of the previous language. Practice and consistency obviously are very much essential to develop your translation, because at this stage of your learning and understanding, you are going through the process in which English is not being your first language. You have to translate it, rather it is your second and sometimes third language generally for the Pakistani students. But with the passage of time, when students do continue translating the Urdu language into English and English language into Urdu one, the link starts developing, and when learners start thinking directly in English, their translation becomes more natural and fluent, because with the passage of time, students start making the sentence patterns into the way as they were existing into their natural expressions of English language. Students must read books, articles, and they should have the habit of reading multiple things on daily basis. And in this way, they should not only focus on to English language, they should rather focus on Urdu language as well, because while translating, the context plays a very important role, and sometimes even the Urdu words do not convey the meaning which the English ones are conveying over there. So it is very much important that students should pay a keen attention to the grammar, verbs, tenses, and other technicalities, because with the flexibility of both languages, a correct product comes into being. And if translator plays a positive role over here, the sentences that are generated are sometimes more beautiful than the sentences that have been created into the original one. And but unfortunately it happens that generally the translated culture and the translated language is not giving justice to the original text, because the original text conveys some other idea and the translated versions convey some idea which is vice versa to original. So you should be very careful about making and breaking the sentences and maintaining these rules of translation into your daily life, and you should practice it as a question as you had been doing it into your matriculation and intermediate. So I hope it is understandable for you. Thank you so much.